Hail and well met. Welcome to the next episode of Villains Wanted. I believe this is episode 3. We've just been sucked through a wormhole into a plane of chaos, and it is amazing. I am Eric Scott DeVee, author, game designer, Twitch streamer, usually a DM of games on the Dungeon Scrollers, but tonight I am playing Nicholas the Necrimbo, a himbo necromancer who is utterly clueless about how everything goes. And yeah, it's great. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer, and tonight I am playing Lady Hellblade, the fallen Aasimar Oathbreaker Paladin, Necro Knight, whatever you want to call her. Very disappointed in Nikolaus, uh, because she feels like she got whatever the villain equivalent of catfished is.
It's a long story. Actually, it's not that long a story, but we'll tell it eventually. Oh, geez. Anyway,
Who's
yeah,
after
yeah.
you, Allie?
Yang Yang.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name's Yang Yang Wang, and I'm playing Tusher, who is a 6 foot tall warforged who really cares about nutrition. So take it away, Roz.
Oh, thank you very much, Dungeon Scrollers. I'm Raz, or Ruzilla, and Twitch and across all the other platformy type things, and I'm over here from Questkeep. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube. And I am playing Hemlock, who is a druid who spends all their time as a platypus. I'm gonna throw to Jake!
And hello, everybody. It's so good to see you this evening. Thanks for joining us on Wednesday nights for Villains Wanted. And my name's Jake Hipsch. I'll be our GM. I'll be playing all the characters who are not our lovely 4 characters here. And for Amanda, aka Apathy, who's in our game, we miss you. You won't be able to join us this evening. But it's so good to have you all here. I generally and regularly run games. I'm so excited and grateful to be running with the Dungeon Scrawler crew here and to be running Villains Wanted, sort of an idea that I pitched to them and that we've been building out. So I want to circle us back, though, before we dive into the game and pass it back, I think, to Eric.
That's right. Thank you. I realized that we were all so excited that we didn't tell you about our sponsor. And I see that a bunch of you from Idle Champions are here right now. You should be typing in that exclamation point code or the code on your screen to get a free Electrum chest.
Yep.
Idle Champions is a digital computer tabletop simulation game where you are playing heroes from various realms, media, books, novels, game products, Twitch shows, including not quite this stream, not yet anyway, but you'll find Farida and Havilar and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. You'll find the Baldur's Gate characters. It's for all kinds of platforms, your phone, your computer, your console, whatever you got. Go check it out. And they are one of our proud sponsors of the show. Also, we have 2 dice dice partners who sponsor the show. Phoenix Dice, which creates dice out of recycled materials named after the creature that rises from the ashes to fight another day. And Norse Foundry, which specializes in metal dice rather than plastic dice. Don't drop a D4 in a darkened space with a Norse Foundry die, but they are beautiful dice, and you can get discounts on either one by going to the links that are on the screen. All right, I think we're good. Jake, take it away.
Okay, gang. Well, welcome this evening as we come into our 3rd episode of Villains Wanted, and we have a couple of updates and sort of catching you all back up. Especially Lady Hellblade, since you were not here last session, what happened in the last episode, right, is that our party made their way through Galahad HQ. Again, for those of you visiting us for the first time, Villains Wanted, right, the premise is, what if the call for hero never ends? Well, all the villains get killed. And our party here all have to be fake heroes. They're hired out by Galahad Corporation to go and pretend to be villains and get defeated by heroes, among other things. Last session, our party made their way through Galahad HQ, where they attended an extremely lengthy all-hands meeting. They learned a few things during this all-hands meeting. The first is that the corporation Potion Paradise, the perfectly produced potions, had merged, or at least brokered a business deal with Galahad HQ. You know that all of their drinks and snacks and other things within the cafeteria are all produced by Potion Paradise. Second, they learned that Nikolaus and Apathy were dating and have since broken up, though Tusher and Hemlock have kind of a side bet about this. And you know that everybody in Galahad HQ, all of the agents are like, ooh, that was rough. We're so sorry for that. So everybody sent their condolences. They also learned that Percy the Pony, your union rep, was killed during his last assignment with Aspen and Carter, his two comrades. Aspen knows Hemlock from their work at Potion Paradise. And after talking with Carter during the all hands meeting, during a distraction, they learned that the heroes were given a wand of Finger of Death, though they were told it was a wand of magic missile. And when they cast it on Percy the Pony just fell over and died. And it freaked everybody else, all the agents, right, Aspen and Carter, and it freaked out the heroes. So somebody gave them that. But they found that that wand had like a brand on it, but the brand had been scratched out. You think with some time and some mending, you might be able to recover that brand. At the end of the session, they learned that Aspen got elected as the new union rep, has increased the quota for you all working in Galahad HQ to do more work. And they also learned by doing some speak with dead magic, they learned that there's a secret chamber somewhere on the plane of Limbo filled with jars. That a couple of the agents from Galahad HQ had been killed off, accidentally stumbling upon this chamber. So, with some quick thinking and some warping of magic, our party, having broken into the back part of Galahad HQ, warped a portal to Limbo, the plane of Limbo, but not before, as they stepped through the door, getting spotted by both Aspen and William Blakely E. Galahad, the CEO of Galahad Corporation. With a very powerful deception check, Manda, aka Apathy, tried to kind of play it off, but you don't know how far you got. And so now you've arrived, flying into Limbo. Lady Hellblade, as you fly through Limbo, you've been pulled along with them. We've assumed you've joined them at this point in time. You are struck by two things at first. The first is the sheer raw chaos of what Limbo is. Limbo is the world and plane of chaos. It is entirely of magical energy. For just a second, you see is what appears to be like a small little snowflake flies by, turns into a piece of iron, turns into lava, and then floats by again, turning into arcane energy. The second thing that strikes you, and this is literal, is a piece of paper. It hits you right on the face. And as you sort of pull it apart, you see, and this is the last thing the party got from our last session, a hero's contract, or a villain's contract. You can see that it speaks about a group of heroes here in the plane of Limbo, and that one of you in the party needs to pretend to be a giant feral creature. One of you needs to take on the role of a backstabby lieutenant, and the others need to play as like gremlins of some kind. And as you fly through, as you pull this apart to the side, you can see that on the contract, in handwritten text, it says, "The heroes are still here." As you fly through the air, all of you swirling around, I actually need you all to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Ah, yes.
I need at least 3 of you to succeed in a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I got a 16, so that's 1.
16.
Well, I got a 19. Hey.
Nice.
Lucky roll.
I got 4.
Excellent.
Oh
Uh-oh.
my gosh.
It's all down to you, Lady Hellblade. As you're flying
Yeah.
through, you see as your friends, right? What happened?
Oh, I have to reset something on my browser because I turned off
Oh.
hardware acceleration for a different thing the other day, and now my die is like, doo.
It looks like she
Oh,
got a
yeah.
14 though.
But
Yes, I did get a 14.
excellent,
It just took
perfect.
forever.
As you fly through the air, you feel all of you kind of swirling around, having stepped through the portal in the door here. You feel that actually kind of looking around for a moment, there is no ground to be seen whatsoever. You just see an endless vast space of void and energy of various objects turning into other things. Off in the distance, you can see chunks of land like stone floating and twisting, but where you are and where you're falling, there is nothing. And for but a second, Nikolaus, Tusher, Lady Hellblade, you all have a moment. It's almost natural. What do you imagine ground looks like for you? And I'm going to have you each describe what does ground look like for you? Can
I
be as
feel
basic.
best situated in a graveyard.
Perfect.
I think for Tusher, it's going to be like a lush grassland with like plenty of fruit trees.
Awesome.
I think for Lady Hellblade, it will be a cracked and parched wasteland.
Okay. As you all are flying, Hemlock, you're sort of flying around with them, right? You feel almost this natural sense to say ground underneath me. And suddenly, Nicholas, your feet, as you sort of right yourself in the air, graveyard coalesces in the chaotic energies underneath you, and you land, and you see tombstones starting to sprout up beside you. Suddenly, they intermingle with this lush, verdant forest as Tusher you land beside. And the last, Lady Hellblade, you see as you land that both the graveyard and the lush forest start to crack and become almost desert-like as all three terrains begin to merge on one another. Hemlock, you land next to them both. And you all look around, seeing that you, through the sheer force of will and concentration, produce the ground that is around you. And it dawns on all of you, for but a second, that should your concentration be broken too much, ground will leave you, and stability will leave you.
I want to loot all the fruit trees.
Awesome, rad. Immediately you see, yeah, there's lemon, apple, and crab apple trees, right? You can just
Oh,
loot all of them.
guys, where are we? This is a weird place.
I have one question. I'm still presently unarmed after our last excursion.
I think you would. I think you might still be unarmed at this moment in time.
Good to know.
As you all land.
I was gonna say it might make sense that Lady Hellblade missed the meeting because she was buying herself a new sword.
I'm on board with that. Lady
And then
Hellblade, you got a sword.
then she was like, "Hey guys, what do we what?" And then got pulled into the portal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
check
I
out
could
my
see
new
that.
Woah.
I'm on board with that. Hellblade, you have your brand new sword that you had just bought, right? You've arrived in this location. You're looting the fruit. As you're sort of looking around again, you see that there's just raw chaos all over the place. But far off in the distance, well over maybe like half a mile or so from you, you can see in this chaos what looks to be a giant stone fortress. You can see that it has been crafted. There's ground surrounding it. You can see, even from this distance, a little white flag being waved at the very top of the fortress. And you can see what looks to be like catapults throwing raw arcane energy and smashing into portions of the fortress far off from you. As you arrive, you recall that there is a hidden chamber somewhere in Limbo. And you also know that the heroes are still here. Settling on the ground, what do you do?
We are in Limbo, the plane of chaos amongst other planes of chaos. All around us is pure madness, kept in check only through our will, and the will of those more powerful of mind than us. Nicholas sits down cross-legged on the ground.
Well, that sounds really intimidating. Do you want a
You get
chaos
used to it.
apple? Tusher will extend one of the apples that he plucked from the tree to Nikolaus.
I think I'll pass this time.
Suit yourself. Tusher wants to take a bite.
Awesome. It is an apple. You
Mm.
just, yeah, tastes great.
Well, at least we're not going to starve while we're here.
I have been unable to prepare new spells, and my combat limitations are extreme at the moment. Thus, I nominate that we wait for a time. The castle seems to be holding, and, well, you can always go without me if it seems that you need to.
Is the castle holding?
Looking at this distance, you can make out, even from the distance that you are, that the castle is certainly under attack. But that even as you watch one of the arcane energy balls flies forward, you see that it then suddenly dissolves, shrivels, and then becomes just almost rain falling upon the castle, even at this distance. And you can tell that while it is taking damage, should you choose to wait, certainly more if will happen to that castle, but you don't think it's about to fall. And you're seasoned adventurers, you kind of get the sense that, like, okay, we got a little while, like, before it becomes dire over there.
Hemlock passes out because they've been holding their breath this whole time, thinking that everything is not real. And so they're like, oh, and then they just fall over at your feet, just like.
Hemlock might need to rest as well.
Yeah, let's take a break.
I suppose that would be necessary.
We take short rest or a long rest?
I would like to rest for 4 hours, which is all that is required for me to prepare new spells.
Okay. We all game for that?
Stare sightlessly, unmoving at these gravestones.
You guys can wake me up whenever.
You find as you all sit and rest for a moment, over the course of your latest experiences, your past contracts, the one you just took where you were fighting with and supporting Daphnea and Frederick in Norville, you find your experiences in Galahad HQ that you found that you kind of can center yourselves. You feel some growth inside of you, right? You've leveled up to level 11. And as you all are sitting there over the course of these 4 hours, do any of you take a watch?
Yeah, I think Tusher definitely takes a watch. He doesn't really need to sleep.
Yeah.
So he would take the first watch.
Cool. Okay. Anybody else want to take a watch?
Lady Hellblade will take a watch.
I'm useless and not helpful.
Hemlock is not doing anything, and Nikolaus is also sort of just like zoning out, if I understand correctly.
For 4 hours. I can take a watch after that if we keep resting.
Okay. After a couple hours, so during the first watch, Tusher, you are sitting there. Any thoughts go through Tusher's head? What's Tusher thinking about?
Well, if Apathy's not here, that means I win the bet. Can't wait till Hemlock wakes up so that I can make her pay. But as he says that, he like gathers some grass to like fluff up and make a pillow for Hemlock and also one for Nikolaus.
Yeah. You make these pillows for them. As you start to let your thoughts wander for a second, sort of thinking about the relationship between Apathy and Nikolaus, however did it shake out, right? Maybe the relationships of you and your colleagues here. For but a moment, you feel your concentration lack for just a second, right? And you see as one of the apples, the chaos apples you hold, suddenly pulls into mist and disappears.
Oh.
You recover for a second and you retain that concentration.
Yeah, I gotta redouble on focusing on this land. I gotta keep it alive because right now it's like one of our only sources of comfort and food.
As you sit there, as your watch is drawing close to an end, you hear boop boop from your pocket.
I pull out a dart and I look at it and I'm wondering if it's a rat.
Okay, nice. You pull out the dart, you're looking, you're wondering if it's a rat, right? And as you do so, you see as your swan song stone clatters out of your pocket as well.
Oh, has it ever done that before?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
But as you look, you see that on the stone in arcane writing is TOS UPT.
Terms of service? PT? I don't know. TOS UPT. I want to pick it up. And have I seen these letters on the stone before?
Yeah, you have. You know that all you have to do is touch the stone.
He does it.
You don't?
Yeah, he does it.
Oh, you
He
do
does.
it.
Mhm.
As you snap it, the arcane letters suddenly open up and says terms of service update. Please scroll to the bottom to complete the update.
Oh,
Okay, he's gonna use two hands to
good.
scroll as fast as possible. Nobody wants to read this stuff. He's just looking for the checkbox to hit.
Awesome. You scroll all the way to the bottom, and suddenly you see is like there's a little green icon that was always red while you were scrolling through. So it turns green, and you can tap it. You hear boop, 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 boop from all three of your other companions.
Well, looks like our stones are activated.
Why?
All right. As you say these words, Lady Hellblade, you're waking up, getting ready for your watch. You've been woken by the of your TOS agreement also going and getting updated as well.
Man, I hope I didn't have to read the fine print. Lady Hellblade, do you love fine print?
It does tend to be important.
Well, there's an update to our stones while you were asleep. Maybe you could check it out while you're on your watch.
Yes, perhaps. And she'll kind of lumber, move over, clank, clank to her position and sword down.
I love that new
Staring
sword.
off. Thank you. And then she'll
Well-
just focus.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm sure she'll pull the stone out and take a look at the new terms.
Awesome. At this point in time, Tusher, if you would like, you can go and start to sleep and kind of rest yourself for this moment in time, right? As you, Lady Hellblade, you are sitting there focusing and looking at the terms of service. As you scroll through it, it's all really the same fanfare. A lot of it is all the same fanfare, but eventually, and give me an investigation check. Unfortunately,
Sure.
reading terms of service requires an investigation check. There is no way in
Oh
my
my.
world you just drill through it without losing some concentration.
All right. I might have to roll my dice manually. This thing
Ooh,
is
I love
taking
it.
forever.
Do it.
All right.
Terms of service.
Here.
A significantly high CR encounter.
I mean, the die taking forever does seem apt for reading the terms of service. Oh my gosh. Okay. I
That's a
only got a
10.
10.
A 10. Okay. Yeah, you're scrolling through this thing, right? Lady Hellblade, as you're scrolling through it, right? I'm gonna point out some things that really stand out to you. First off, it acknowledges that Aspen is the new union rep. So formerly replacing Percy the Pony. Number two, there is a new voice feature. Before, the Swansong Stones all had a standardized voice. Now you can change your voice to be the Highlander if you wanted to. You could also make the voice maybe like a little bit more of like a sexy British voice if you wanted to. So you can kind of change the voice and accent to whatever you would like it to be to add when I ask permission. And third, and not least, right, as you're looking at these TOS, so you have union rep, you have the voice, and you also notice that as you're kind of reading through it, there's a line that says, this now will register whether or not your missions are complete, and it will count for whether or not you get paid. So it's sort of tracking whether or not you complete the mission.
Hmm.
She'll she'll look back. Is Tucher resting at this point?
No, I think when you turn around, maybe you see him in the middle of like putting some good berries and other treats into like Hemlock's and Nicholas's pack. He wants to make sure they have a nice little breakfast when they wake up.
Did you read this before you signed?
Nope. And also, I signed for all of us.
You look 100%. It's green on your little icon.
And I'll just bring up the relevant passages and I'll just show them. Take a look.
Well, I mean, sounds like we could change our voice and we're gonna get paid. That's great, right?
They're tracking us.
Oh, but isn't that okay? Because what do we have to hide? We don't have anything to hide. We don't care if they're tracking us, right?
And yet, do we know who killed the former Union rep yet?
We kind of do. We know it's one of the adventurers inside of this fortress, but we don't know which one.
Do we? And who told you that?
His name was.
Yeah, you were talking right last time with let me just double check right off the top of my head here. The Stink Eye.
Yeah.
Which is a former Galahad agent.
Yeah, so we were talking to the Galahad agent, the Stink Guy, and they told us all about the wand that these heroes, supposedly heroes, like used to kill Percy and turn him into a zombie.
I see. Well, things rarely seem so cut and dry.
Yeah, it really wasn't. There was a whole bunch of jars, something about like Galahad Corporation on the jars. So we really got to get to the bottom of this. And in order to do that, we got to get inside that fortress and get at these adventurers.
Fair, but my point is, given that things are so up in the air, how do we know that our higher ups are, as they say, on the up and up?
I mean, you missed it, but they gave Nikolaus a really cool prize for completing a job well done. And was it Hemlock that became Employee of the Month?
All of you.
Oh, all of us, and we all became Employees of the Month. So it's not so bad, right?
You don't think it's strange that that's such a reversal from the former opinion of you just the other day?
Well, I mean, I've been trying really hard. We've all been trying really hard. And maybe it's just the fruits of our labor.
Sure.
As you say, sure. This conversation coming to a close. It's been a couple of hours. About 4 now has passed. And as we come to the 4th hour, as it concludes, right? As we go and you see your rests begin to conclude, Hemlock kind of waking up partially on a nice grassy pillow, Nikolaus, you as well. You are awoken to the sounds of like howling wind around you of the plane of Limbo. It seems as though almost like a storm is coming, if you could call something more significant than what you're already experiencing in terms of chaos and magic swirling around you, that something's coalescing in this moment of time.
Ooh,
Ah.
Hemlock.
Yeah. Ah. Oh, I can breathe. I can breathe here. How do I breathe here? This is weird. Where is here?
We're in Limbo. It's a realm of chaos.
Whoa.
Nikolaus was explaining more of it, but you could ask him the details. He knows this arcane stuff.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I guess we have to do our mission and then we get to go back. It's weird here. I don't feel right. Well,
Hemlock, as you're sort of settling with that, You all see is that there has been a group of sort of skeletons that have been animated by you, Nikolaus, as you've woken up. You see that they're sort of all just hanging out. You see that there's about 5 of them, all hanging with you all. But Hemlock, as you sort of look past them and look around, getting a sense of the plane of Limbo, sort of settling yourself, you can see that like far off in the distance, you see what looks to be like a massive looking pillar, and it just slowly drifting along.
Do I
Into
see
the
it?
hole, Skelly boys. Just up in the portable hole.
You pop open the portable hole, all your Skelly boys, one at a time. They all kind of like link arms and just sort of shuffle their way in into the hole.
Tusha wants to lean over to Lady Hellblade and whisper, he's got a dark creature in that hole. An evil creature of some sort.
At this point, I don't know what I believe that he actually has.
Well,
Darkness in my hole.
yes.
Do you even listen to yourself?
Yes? No. Interesting question.
Where's apathy?
That was my next question.
Nicholas pokes his head in the portable hole. Nope.
Are you worried about her?
I did not say so.
Okay, but like, are you? I mean, she's not here. You can tell us.
She is a useful member of the group.
What's the story there, anyway?
You know your story with me.
I am keenly aware, yes.
It is similar, my story with her.
Wait, you guys also dated and then broke up and everybody knows?
It is not similar in that respect.
Yeah, that gets like a look.
Hemlock, that tower is getting closer.
Uh-oh.
What do you see, Hemlock?
Oh, yeah, Hemlock, if you draw any attention, they'll all see it.
Yeah, I'll turn around and be like, okay, put a pin in this because I do want to talk about it more. But what about this, guys?
You see drifting towards you a floating chunk of land with what looks to be a tower. The chunk of land is sort of moving almost like pretty quickly towards your patch of land that you've produced. And you can see that this looking like arcane ruined tower is just churning towards you. It's kind of chugging towards you all as you're going here. You think you got like a minute or two before it would get pretty close to you.
Want to hide?
Okay, cast Mage Armor.
I think Lady Hellblade's just gonna stand there looking at it for now. Like she's not going to like she's covered in like chitinous plate armor. She's not hiding behind anything.
Wait. Lady Hellblade, what are we supposed to be? You got the piece of paper, like, maybe,
Well, here. And she'll hand it off.
and so Hemlock is trying to read through it.
Yeah, quickly reading through it, you need a large feral creature of some kind, or mighty feral creature. You need a backstabby person, is all it's written there, and you need the remainder are like gremlin-ish lieutenants, and it's in air quotes. The quotes for gremlin. It's sort of like, yeah, whatever you want for that.
All right, and I'll look up at Hellblade and just be like, so how do you feel about looking like a feral creature?
Just sigh and pick up her helmet and put it on.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that one of the tropes was Kaz the Destroyer type.
The backstabby lieutenant.
Exactly. That seems more fitting.
So then...
Very well. I feel like her helmet not only makes her eyes glow, but like amplifies her growly voice.
Yeah. Oh,
Amazing.
100%. Yeah. Like 10 times more vocal fry. So intense. Yeah.
I mean, I got the gremlin part down.
I mean,
Should
you're
probably wear this. I give my cape a billowing to Lady Hellblade, unless you already have one.
She might already have one, honestly. She doesn't have one on her sheet, but she'll take it. And
So
the
it's
cape.
just
I mean, what's cooler than
minor action
billowing
makes
cape?
the cape billow.
Nice.
She'll just give Niklaus a look. I think gremlin suits you well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, Hemlock, you're also really great at being feral. So, would you rather be a gremlin or be the feral creature?
Oh, I mean, I'm already kind of feral.
Yes.
All right.
Best disguise self and make myself look like a gremlin. Poof. You know, I can go down to small size. I mean, I just look that way. Like people will still interact with my body as though it's really there.
Okay. You all have assigned yourselves roles. It takes you a minute or two to do this, and you see as the stone with the statue, the large pillar continues to move towards you all. And it dawns on you as you're sort of standing there looking at it for a bit, you're like, oh God, it's going to hit us. Is there anything you would like to do to try to prevent this chunk of land to come directly into the small patch that you've created?
How does this work, you guys? How does this work? How did you make it land?
Through an exercise of one's willpower.
Yeah, we thought really hard.
Then stop thinking.
Harder.
Or that.
Harness your will.
I thought the point was to make it not land so that this thing. Never mind. I don't know what's happening.
Harness your will to slow its approach or to move us out of the way.
Okay. Let's give it a try. I need all of you make intelligence checks.
How smart is our group? Oh my God, nat 20, 21.
Oh, that's great.
All
I
right.
also got a 21.
15.
20.
Okay.
Oh,
Gang. All right. Together, all of you, for just a moment, you start to channel your minds together. What command do you want to give to this pillar or to your land? What are you trying to do in this moment?
we want to slow the approaching pillar and meld our land into it.
Red. Sweet. You see as all of you are standing there suddenly with cape billowing, mask on head, you see as Lady Hellblade, you hand out, reach forward, and like the force for but a second, you see as suddenly it starts to slow down. You see as you're applying this almost intellectual force upon the pillar, it slows down even further. And then Hemlock, you, Nikolaus, and Tuzer, your land starts to grow and scuttle across and reconnect and bind your chunk to the pillar's chunk. After but a moment, you see as with the lands combined, you can release this power of the mind, which is an ability that is in Limbo going forward. Should you choose to, you can attempt to manipulate objects. You making intelligence checks. You can either move the object or transform the object to a different substance. And the DCs are different for those two things. And as you combine your land with this, you suddenly feel as like, even though you've slowed the pillar down, it starts to push and move you again as you continue to swirl around this massive, almost maelstrom of various chaotic energies.
Into the tower.
It is not a tower so much as like a pillar of arcane runes.
Onto the pillar. Can we climb onto it?
Yeah, of course you can climb onto it.
Can you read it?
Yeah, just gotta ask. I can't. I don't have any
Don't
training
look
in
at me.
Arcana.
That's your wheelhouse, Niklaus.
Nikolaus has always been climb first, read later.
I will make it's the Nick Rimbo thing. I'll make an Arcana check and see if I can decipher what it's.
You don't
what
need to
it's
make the
saying.
Arcana check. You can just start
Alright.
kind of getting a sense of what's going on here. As you take a look at these runes, you can see that they're all what look to be like a variety of runes focused on the spell locate object.
Oh.
It appears. But you also notice that they look to have some level of like let me just double check to make sure I say the correct spell school for this. Conjuration to them as well. So as you're looking at this, it's like a combination of locate object plus conjuration. And as you get a sense of this, you think that this pillar, if you cast locate object on it, is an empowered. It will empower the spell and then provide an option for you afterward.
Oh.
Giant flying divining rod. Excellent.
Ah. So we can use this to get to where we're going. Let's go.
Cast your spell, Hemlock.
I'm practicing being feral. All right. What are we looking for?
We are looking for the adventurers specified in this contract.
All right. It helps to be specific. And as they cast the spell, it's the same thing where they shake like their wet dog and the like particles that fly off of them. And I guess now it kind of spirals along the pillar, but it's like that little like magic dog that looks to point things, but maybe now it directs.
Yeah. As you watch, you see as your magic spirals around the pillar, you can see as the arcane runes start to swirl and empower, and you see as your normally like pretty small pointer dog suddenly begins to grow in size and like full Clifford size pointer dog. Woo! Woo! You kind of turn, you see as the dog is looking around, sniffing, and then turns and shifts and points directly at the fortress where you see the white flag waving. At this moment in time, because you are the one who cast the locate object or locate creature in this case, right? You get the sense that you can basically drive this stone like an airship and drive it in the direction that you choose for it to go.
All right. Is everybody holding on to their butts? And I literally look down because I've been able to like while everybody else was reading the runes, waiting for Nicholas. I've been making like little butt chairs out of the rock with like my ability to use my mind.
For sure.
So, hold on to your butts! And then
oh, thanks for the butts.
And then
the stone begins launching forward. You're charging it forward as you go, and it won't take you very long. You're moving at a pretty brisk pace. And very quickly, as you are traveling, you start to draw closer and closer to the fortress. You see that little white flag actually is quite larger than you thought it was. You can see that the fortress has taken some damage at this point in time after a couple of hours since you guys deciding to rest. However, it still looks intact of some kind as you continue driving along. Give me a concentration check, Hemlock, as you are the one driving the ship.
Nat 20.
All right,
Nice.
Hemlock, you were born, you feel yourself almost combining in your feral state with the dog that's guiding you in this moment in time as you fly around. At one point in time, Hemlock, you can see as you're drawing closer that suddenly some of the catapults they shoot up in the air and start to move in your direction, as if whomever is down there has noticed you approaching or your object approaching and has decided, oh, we'll take it out of the sky. And you see as you, with your nat 20, just sort of dodge around it, fully dipping and diving as you draw closer. What are the rest of you doing while Hemlock's driving?
Well, I think Lady Hellblade, she has not seated herself, but rather she is standing on the pillar and driven her sword into the stone.
Awesome.
And is just standing there, like stock still, cape like fluttering behind her as we zip through the air.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. As you're standing up there, Lady Hemlock, or Hellblade, what are the other two doing?
Tusher is grabbing onto the butt chair that Hemlock made for him, and he is just admiring its fine craftsmanship and just how large and comfortable it is.
Yeah, perfect.
I am putting up telepathic bond. Put us all in the group chat.
Okay, you put everyone in the group chat and then Lady Hellblade, as you're standing up there, blade in, cloak billowing, right? The picture of like a villain upon the ship, right? As you're standing there and you're watching, Hemlock, you're driving, you see his other catapult shoot up, start aiming up in your direction. And with a nat 20, I'm not requiring you to make any more checks for this moment in time as you draw closer. Lady Hellblade, as you're standing there, you notice that standing beside you is this spectral blue looking figure. They sort of are standing there. You see as their wisps have turned into the same cape as you, and you can see that they look to have like adopted some sort of little spectral blue helm, and their eyes, they sort of have tried to turn into like little flary lights of motes, and you can see that they're holding like a little spectral sword, and they're solely standing on the pillar with you, being like very menacing as they're standing next to you in this moment in time.
All right. That's strange.
As suddenly you see as another catapult ball rolls up, you see as the pillar turns and the spectral figure disappears, vanishing off into the chaos and the miasma yet again. As you fly over, you see that far below you, as you pass over what looks to be like kind of the battleground, before the fortress itself, you can see what seems to be these strange, large, almost hulking creatures of reds and grays and blues and whites, all sort of moving around, many of them directing one another. And you can see as one of them is sort of sitting there, this towering looking like green one, and is sort of pointing at the rest, and the catapults are shooting up at you. And you notice that they're now moving siege ladders to go and onto the fortress walls. You can navigate, if you would like, your makeshift airship to any direction if you would like. You can park it above the fortress or go wherever you like. Hemlock, where would you like to go?
Oh, does it look like there's anywhere where I guess I actually could take it to the highest point.
Yeah, rad. You can see that the fortress looks to have, yeah, like this structural build to it that does have like a highest peak, almost like semi-pyramid-ish in this structure. As you sort of, you can park the with, again, I'm holding you to that nat 20. You can sort of, you've been feel natural with this locate object / creature, and you can just like park your airship right there if you would like.
We're the villains and we own this place.
As we're like driving in, can Tusher like drop some of the fruits that he picked up, and he wants to focus on them. And he wants to drop them like towards the ladders, like aiming at the ladders.
Oh.
And he wants to focus on them and like imagine that they're bigger or like huge.
Oh my
like
god, I love it.
boulders.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, be good. 12.
A 12. Okay. You, as you're sort of trying to imagine this, you drop these berries on there and apples, and you can see that you can kind of grow them up a little bit larger, but a 12 isn't going to be enough for you to really get them beyond, like, because you're now dropping them, they're now moving a distance from you, and you're trying to maintain control on their size. It's just mentally a little bit too challenging for you to achieve the goal you want. However, you see as one of them flies, it suddenly like turns into what looks to be like a ball of steel, and you see one of these creatures that's slowly starting to crawl up just sort of look up and get hit for a second, and then
Sorry,
look
it's supposed to
up
be a fruit.
and as you're parking, you see what this creature looks like. Looks to be like this hulking frog, and you can see that as it turns, its maw opens, these huge teeth, and then it goes back to starting to slowly climb back up the ladder.
Oh, those are definitely going to be a problem, friends.
Awesome. You have
Problems
parked
are just friends you haven't met yet, though.
Oh, good point,
Yes.
Hemlock.
While this has been going on, I want to have tried using mending on that wand.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So as you start to cast mending on this wand, I need you to make an opposed Arcana check against me.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna make the Arcana check first. Tell you the DC. Oh well, all right, cool. I rolled a natural.
Nice.
I rolled a natural 1.
Nice.
I got a 15.
You got a 15. As you look, you see that maybe this is sort of like as you're starting to manipulate it, that a ward appears as you start to cast mending, and you suddenly snap, break it. Just immediately shatter the ward so that you cast mending further on the wand. And as you do so, you see that the lettering, the ward that you just broke with an @1, I'm going to give you all the information you need.
It must have been weakened already.
Yeah, the ward was an illusory ward that would have forced whoever to repair this wand to see PP on it. However, as you snap and break the ward away, you see that instead it is BBEG.
Ah.
Okay. I conveyed this mentally to everybody. It would appear that this wand is the property of our master.
Yeah, they were
BBEG. Maybe Lich.
trying to frame potions, the potions company.
It would seem so, but why?
What was I
Why?
saying earlier about not trusting our superiors?
Fascinating.
They could still be in cahoots. Don't let her off the hook.
Anyway, I slipped the wand into my robe.
Perfect. Yeah. As you arrive, we're the villains. We're here. You say these things, Hemlock, as you park and arrive here, and it is an empty top of this fortress. You could step off if you like. You can see immediately there's a staircase down. Far below you, you can hear the sounds of what's like and rumbles of the fortress as again arcane motes of energy hit into the sides of the walls. And as you arrive here, it dawns on all of you that as you've seen the creatures climbing up the ladders, that there's not necessarily that much time left.
Do we have to?
Arriving.
Fashionably late.
You just had to rest.
I do not rest. I simply gather my energies.
And snort.
Sure. I'm going to try to like step off of this pillar down onto the top of the thing as dramatically as possible.
Unbelievably dramatically, right? Like
Yeah.
unbelievably. And as you
Superhero
do
landing.
so,
Yeah.
you 3-point landing, you arrive. Tusher, Hemlock, Nikolaus, you all see as a spectral blue figure has followed. Like the second Lady Hellblade falls off, the spectral blue figure does the same thing and sort of like lands right behind Lady Hellblade, and it's just like, and then disappears into again the miasma. Lady Hellblade, upon arrival, as the rest of you are getting ready to depart as well, as you land with your armor, you see the dust rise up around you. You immediately hear ding, 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 as an alarm spell has just been triggered.
I am unconcerned.
We are the alarm.
I think Tusher, here's that alarm. He knows it's like going to be showtime soon. So he's going to rush over to Hemlock. He's going to try to help her prepare for her role. He's going to take some of the chaos lemons, like squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into her eyes to get them all red and bloodshot. And then he's going to take some of the other fruits, maybe like try to add some water and make some lather and give her some like, white stuff around her mouth so she looks rabid and just really prepare her and try to make her look more feral.
Awesome. You're doing that, Nicholas, and anything you're doing, Hemlock, you're just suffering a lemon for a moment, so we're going to come to you last.
So those frog things,
Yeah.
are those near us?
No, they're not near you, right? They're coming up through the walls. You think that they're not going to make it to you quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah. You've gone to the highest point, so you actually think that they would have to make their way through the castle itself to get to you.
Okay, I pull out my Skelly boys.
Okay. Awesome. You pop out
Including
all
a
your
zombie pony.
Yeah, I love it. You pop out all your Skelly boys. You're getting the lemon juice in the eye in this moment of time as you hear ding, 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 ding. And suddenly you see poking their head up from the stairwell in the castle. You see is running up. You look and you see what looks to be this like this high elf. You see that the high elf is wearing like an all emerald outfit, is holding what looks to be this like very emerald green lantern in this moment of time, and goes, "Villains! You've arrived! Attackers! Everyone from above!" And turns and immediately takes and points at you, the most menacing looking person here, Lady Hellblade, with your cloak and your helmet. You see as they immediately point a finger at you, and you see as a ball of fire starts to grow in their finger and shoots, and a fireball immediately goes at you.
No.
Now we've talked about this. Make it look like it hurt.
Dexterity saving throw. Lady Hellblade.
Yes. Oh, I should have just ding. Okay, you know what? 18.
18. Oh, all right. Nice. That is enough to pass. So you're going to take half this amount of damage as you take 8d6 worth of damage. I rolled a 15. You take half of that. So seven points of damage as the fireball explodes around you.
I stand from the crouch that I landed in as it hits, and I just stand there and take like I I just weather the whole thing. That's what I do.
You see, in this moment of time, they're kind of looking and they're like casting the spell. Okay.
No, it could have been worse.
Hemlock.
How many of them can we kill?
None of them. Zero
None
of them.
Don't give her a hard time. She's still new on the job.
Hemlock, what do you
Yeah.
do?
I get the lemon in the eye and I'm kind of frothing, and then there's a bunch of berries giving me like the red all around my bill so that I can, kind of make like spittle happen. And then I'm going to try the intelligence of changing the terrain around us a little bit.
Ooh, all right.
Which is to put up a barrier between us and the hero who's just arrived.
Oh.
As though like a little like wall could pop up.
Like some
Awesome.
earthbending.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Make an intelligence check.
And I'm thinking of it the way I do like erupt earth, but knowing that I'm trying to control this. That is a 14.
You manage to pull up some dirt, right? Starting to earth bend it as you rise it up. You kind of, with your bloodshot eyes, you can see as you're doing this. You see as the fireball washes past you, Lady Hellblade, in this moment of time. You've pulled this up. Anything else you'd like to do with this hemlock? Are you just trying to kind of put up a wall between you?
Well, it's going to be like a wall that tries to defend us from his fireball, but then I also want to leave it in the shape of Lady Hellblade's helmet.
Oh.
So
Okay,
like
rad.
it's got like cool like horn things and stuff that form at the top.
Yeah. Hell
It
yeah.
looks like her vibe, right?
As you do this, right, the horns rising up over the top, you hear as the mage goes, "Oh my god, more strong agents of the Slod. I have to go get friends," and races downstairs.
Matching the aesthetic. Nice.
Speaking of aesthetic, Nikolaus, it's your turn. You better, we gotta get you in costume. So I've decided that Tusher in a past life was like a makeup artist before he became a hero.
Hell yeah.
And that's like partially why he is like, he's, got fast hands, really dexterous, really, quick. And so he's used to, he just pulls up to Nikolaus and he's just going to start like sticking like dead grass and like.
This isn't necessary. I already did disguise self.
You got to make it believable.
And Nikolaus, you are wearing Sebastian on you right now. Is that correct?
It's a little unclear as to whether Sebastian ended up coming with us or if we left him. But if you want me to have Sebastian, then I think he ended up coming with us.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's your call.
Sure, yes. Let's have Sebastian.
As you're doing the makeup artist on the face, right? Sebastian, this mimic, and Lady Hellblade, you kind of turn and you look, and Nikolaus is just fully wearing a mimic at this moment of time. And you can see that Sebastian starts to turn and will cast disguise self at wills to any costume you choose.
Well, apparently a really dirty grass-covered gremlin.
Perfect. Awesome. You manage to turn into this grass-covered gremlin. You have Lady Hellblade looking really badass. You have Hemlock looking kind of just feral and critter-like. And Tusher, you
Yeah, so Nikolaus, the reason why I had to cover you in grass is to sell my own costume. So Tusher wants to take the grass and turn it into like just like a little sock puppet, like roughly the same ball and shape of like Nikolaus, maybe a little smaller. And his plan is he's going to use Mage Hand to just guide it and animate it and bob it around the room. And he's going to
Perfect.
hide in the shadows.
Oh, I love it, Tutor. You are doing so right. You even with the plane of we're not gonna have you roll for this for right now, but basically within the plane of Limbo, you can just like mold that grass into a true figure that is almost partially alive, right? As
Ooh.
you're like with your mage hand, you've made it look really good. As you all have made your costumes, made your preparations, you can hear down below. We have to get ready. They're coming down. They're gonna attack us soon. What do you do? Farther down below, you can hear of the various frog-like creatures as they are starting to scale the walls, fall into the kind of keep courtyard, and are moving towards the castle itself.
For the record, it would be more believable for us as villains if we did kill one or two of them.
You are
I'm
a
just
backstabber.
putting that out there.
You are a backstabber type, so you could attack one of us. If you ever feel like it.
I mean, it sounds like Nikolaus is volunteering.
It does sound like that to me.
Very well. Anything for the bit.
Yes, for the bit.
Yeah. Let's. We need to take care of those frog creatures. Just gonna make a check to see if Nicholas knows what those are.
By simply asking, you know.
Okay. So those are Slod, right?
They are Slod. Yeah.
Okay.
Wicked frog denizens of Limbo that if they slash you, they may implant an egg in you, and that it chest bursts out of you, and you become a Slod.
Right. You can kill as many of those as you like.
Should we put some people on slot duty and some people on hero duty?
Yes.
Think what?
Who wants to go at which? I shall
I'll
take Lady
the
Hellblade,
slide.
and we shall take a. Okay. Lady Hellblade should probably go fight some Slod, right? Or did you, because you wanted to kill something?
It's unclear to me whether we're on the side of the Slod or not.
We're not on the side of the Slod.
Slot are nobody's side but their own.
Correct.
I see.
Which means go ahead and kill them as much as you like.
Yeah, and keep them away from the heroes because we don't want any of them dying.
Do you have a spell to make your sword magical?
Well, my weapon is always charged with my divine fury.
Perfect. Let's go. You might need that. That's what I'm saying.
So, from our vantage point, how far are the Slotty from us?
You think you only have a couple of rounds before they're gonna start breaking into the lower part of the castle.
Are they
Okay,
are they
is it-
climbing up the castle?
There is a castle wall and then a courtyard and then like the keep itself, right? So they were climbing over the castle walls and are now in the courtyard and are starting to get towards the keep doors and things like that. Yeah.
How far is the wall from us?
For sure. Yeah. It's about from where you are looking down about 200 feet.
200? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta get closer before I could do anything.
Hemlock, you want to team up against the adventurers, or do you want just one of us to go?
I think I should help with the adventurers.
Okay. Do you want
But I
to
also-
handle it yourself, or do you want support? Because I'll come with you.
Oh yeah, I think as the feral creature, I need some backup, just at least in terms of the show.
Roger that. Let's go.
Yeah,
All right.
just let us know if you need more show elements.
All right, and let me know if you guys need endless water. And then they start like traipsing.
I hand my portable hole to Lady Hellblade, And I say, if worse comes to worse, empty this out toward the slot.
All right.
And then come on, Skelly boys. And we're heading toward the adventurers.
Awesome, rad. Hemlock, you and Nicolaus split up. Tucher and you and Lady Hellblade, where do you head off?
I guess
So Tusher
Slot
wants to
up.
get to like a closer vantage point, but still
Yep.
like above the wall. He wants to
Yep.
get to some place that's like within 60 feet of it, so that he can cast a web spell on it.
Yeah, because you do you have upper story, or what is it?
I
The roguey
think so.
ability.
Yeah. The thief one.
Yeah, so you're not gonna. I'm not gonna force you to make a check at this moment of time. You
Second
basically
story
can
work.
just sort of like scuttle along and get in position. You can see that down below, racing towards the keep entrance, which you can see has been already partially damaged. And Lady Hellblade, you can kind of make out this as well. You can see what looks to be like a group of these two red slod, these huge hulking frogs with giant, wicked-looking claws, just getting dragged behind them, going ribbit, 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 as they're moving towards the front keep here. So, Tutor, you can
Alright.
get yourself into position. Lady Hellblade, how do you want to arrive?
That's a good question.
Oh, I'd like to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't have to make a check right now.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like the least stealthy possible. If things are coming, let them come at me.
Awesome, cool. You race forward, right? You're up above them. Do you want to do like another hero super landing point in front of them?
Yes.
Brad. Yeah. As you do so, flying through the air, you see flying down next to you a bluish spectral figure who looks at you for a moment and goes, before so fully landing the double thumbs up, and then they vanish. Tutor, you are in position, and I'm gonna have you both now roll initiative. I'm gonna come back to you as we're setting the
All
scene.
right.
But you two have arrived. Lady Hellblade, as you arrive, 3-point landing, you see the two slot turning, staring at you, and are racing forward. Hemlock and Nicolaus, as you move forward, you can make your way down into the keep itself if you'd like.
Yeah, I think so.
And we've
Awesome.
got this. Are there Skelly boys with us?
Skelly boys are following us. Like, you got your own little entourage of Skelly boys.
Yeah.
And one gremlin who is capering as best he can with his 6'7", strength 14 frame.
Racing forward, you see Hemlock as you arrive, you around the corner, and you can see what looks to be like the inner part of this keep is fully empty. It has 5 pillars that are kind of holding up the roof from the floor. And you notice that sitting in the center of it all is this very monkish looking Gistheri, right? You've kind of seen these folks before. They're planar travelers sitting there just sort of like meditating, but straining, sweat beating their brow. Hemlock, you also see what looks to be one of the heroes is laying, just slowly bleeding. Another one sort of patching their wounds. Massive looking claw marks having raked across their chest. You see the emerald mage now standing, turning, and sort of pointing up at a finger in your direction. And you can see what looks to be like a very heroic figure standing there, cape billowing, fully helmet now getting put on their head. Is there like, I'm the cloaked marauder. We shall fight you, villains. As you arrive down here, yeah, that's what you see. What do you want to do, Hemlock?
Wow. I'm gonna like hiss and make a lot of like spitting noises as I'm as ferocious as possible.
Perfect.
And I want to like come in as though I'm on all fours, just kind of like capering as forward as I can.
Ooh, I love it.
And spitting and stuff. And then I will how big is the space total? Are we in like this like circular-ish room?
Yeah, about 60 feet wide.
Okay. All around me, I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit.
Okay.
So it's a 60-foot. This is a bonus action. And So it's like a healing kind of a thing. But I want them to kind of look like me this time. Last time they were Canadian geese and honky and murder chickens.
Yeah.
This time
yeah.
I want them to kind of look like me as I'm trying to make a bunch more of me magically, but instead they're going to help heal the adventurers.
Awesome. Make a heal check.
Yeah. So I could heal a number of times equal to 1 plus my spellcasting modifier. So if only one of them looks injured, then it'll be like, well, you know.
All of them look a little worse from where one of them looks particularly injured. The one who's being patched up. Yeah.
Awesome. Ooh, that's good. So that is 8 points of healing.
Ooh, the second you're healing, Nikolaus, you arrive on the stairs, skeletons right behind. You cast the spell, the healing goes out, the 8 points of healing touches the wounded warrior. You can see that they look to be like dressed all in like orange. And they look as though they're like kind of like this like matted orange. It's all leathers, right? As they're laying there, this massive claw mark across them. You see as the spirits kind of race around, that suddenly one of them you see runs over, taps the wounded figure, and you see as they go and they start to writhe and convulse. And Nikolaus, as you arrive getting to the bottom, it dawns on you that whatever healing just happened to that body woke up whatever's inside that body.
Oh, good.
And you hear as the adventurers go, "We gotta stop the feral beast! The feral beast is using magic to wound!" And we're gonna go to a break as you see the figures starting to quiver and writhe as we come into encounters.
Hey, give us up for 10 minutes. Don't go
Yeah.
away. We'll be back soon.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wall and there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
In some tales, the adventure begins in a tavern. Not this time. In most tales, the heroes triumph over evil. Not this time. In all tales of my curse, I am bound forever to the Shadow Realm. Not this time.
And we're back.
Welcome back. As we return, I would ask everybody to roll initiative for me.
Excellent.
Gasp.
Mhm.
22.
22 for Tusher.
I got a 10.
Rolling
A 10 for Nick and Laos.
20.
Ooh, a 20. All right, great. And a 10 and Hemlock.
Classic Hemlock. I'm still single digits. 9.
Heck yeah, Hemlock. Okay.
Are we going to have the Skelly Boys go on my initiative, or
Uh,
do they get their own initiative?
I
'Cause
think
I'll
they're
roll
gonna
for
go-
them.
I think they'll go on yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just to keep it smooth. Yeah.
Their
yeah,
initiative modifier is actually slightly better than mine. So
Awesome.
maybe we should just have the Skelly Boys go just before me, and then have me go right after them.
Done. Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Odds, evens. Okay, great. Tutor and Lady Hellblade, as you arrive, you 3-point landing arrive. Tutor, you get to go first, followed by Lady Hellblade as the two red slod are charging forward towards you, Lady Hellblade. They're now about 60 feet away from you, Tutor, rushing Lady Hellblade here.
Yeah, so Tusher, still hidden in the shadows, just wants to cast a web spell and try to just he goes, it's about 20 feet.
Yeah.
20-foot cube. So yeah, he wants to place that like between the slod and Lady Hellblade, and he wants to try to place it like a critical choke point.
Ooh, I love it. Okay. Awesome. As you throw this bit of web, you can see as one of the slot racing forward. You see sort of like stumbles and gets slowed down by it, Tutor, and you can see get stuck, but the other slot like almost lightning quick with a magical resistance to any sort of effect. It sort of locks eyes in your direction, bends down, and its legs sort of grow in strength, and then it leaps, moving directly towards you. So it is leaping 60 feet up to go up to you, Tutor. It is still in the air, so the remainder of your turn will take place. But yeah, it is leaping towards you.
Yeah. So when Tusher casts his spell, maybe like it looks like ethereal, glowing,
Yeah.
like spiders like fly out from the shadows, and they're each carrying like a thin strand that like fills the space with webbing, magical webbing.
Awesome.
But then afterwards, he is going to just move away. He's trying to get back to where the adventurers are, and like just act as another, buffer zone. Maybe he'll try to move back like 30 feet.
Okay, you start to move back, and now because you're moving at a fairly brisk pace comparatively, I do need a dexterity check from you, acrobatics, as you're moving across the rooftops. With second story, what do you get?
So the 9. The dice said
9.
18, but it came up as a 4. All right, whatever.
No.
Oh no.
Second story work. Awesome. Do it with advantage.
Oh, sweet. 20. Dirty
20. You start shuffling backwards after casting your spell. You see that the slot is jumping towards you, but you manage to just very quickly back up 30 feet. You've done this work for a while. You've been up in second stories for a good long while here. As you sort of back up. Yes, perfect. Tutor, you've cast that spell. Anything else? That was your spell, your movement.
Yeah, I think that's it. There's a bonus action that would help.
Perfect. You start to back up there. Lady Hellblade, you are standing there. It is your turn. There's a slot that's been now partially slowed down by you, by a Tutor that you saw kind of shoot that arcane spiders that produce the web. It's about 35 feet away from you right now. You see that the other one has leapt into the air and is going up for Tutor.
All right. I will close the distance and
Okay.
attack the one that's been slowed.
Awesome.
Let's see here. Ooh, so many options. But I will just try to hit with I'll bring out the great sword and try to hit.
Awesome.
that.
Go for it.
All right. Oh, I hit the thing. I need to just roll. I just roll normally.
As you step forward, as you're rolling your die, I'll ask for your number here in just a second. As you swing with the blade, you see that the spectral blue figure is standing next to you, swinging their own blade towards the slot. In this moment, the blade vanishes before it gets to them, but your blade, what did you roll?
Well, the die I rolled just now physically got a 21.
A 21, we'll take that die. So as you swing in with your blade, their AC is 14. So as you swing, you manage to slice into this red slot.
All right. And let's see here. I'm going to Divine Smite. So let's see. That's 28, 38, 4, an extra 48 damage on top of what I do here.
Awesome.
So we got, let's see. Yeah, it's a great sword. So I dropped it. No. Ooh, 9, 13. So 13 base damage.
Okay.
And then another 18 radiant damage.
With your radiant blast, right, with another 18, you do 31 points of damage. As you see as your blade slices up through this slot, already with your blade slicing up with your first attack, you can see that the wounds are starting to stitch themselves close. This slot has regenerative capacities of some kind you are aware of.
Mm,
But you see as the slot, what do you do in rest? So you've moved forward, you've made your first attack.
yes. Let's see. Uh, because yeah, do I get multiple at this point? I think I do.
Yes, yeah, you would at least
Okay.
get two. Yeah.
I will hit with the second one then.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Where'd you go? The problem of physical dice. Damned if you do,
They
damned if you don't.
scamps.
18.
18 hits. As you swing up, right, your blade swings again, deal your damage. As your damage slices in, are you going to Divine Smite again?
Yes.
Awesome. So deal your Divine Smite plus your damage. And as you do so, your blade, tell me the number here in just a moment as you're rolling, but your
All right.
blade swing up, you see as the spectral
6.
blue figure has now gone a little closer to you. Like before it was standing beside you at all
Okay.
times, and it's partially touching you in some way as its blade is swinging as well. And as your blade connects, how much damage do you deal?
So it's 11 regular and 12. Another 19 radiant.
Ooh, all right, all right, all right. Steady on there. Wow, you're just doing so much damage.
Oh
It's
yeah.
again another bolt of radiant energy turns. Uh, you see as the spectral blue figure turns, looking at you, and as they lock eyes with you, you can see the soft blue of theirs sort of almost contrasts with the radiant red from under your mask. As the spectral figure says, "My champion." And their blade hits the slot as well. For a second, you see the slot staggers slightly, and then they disappear again. The spectral figure disappearing into the miasma.
Oh.
Awesome. That was your action, your movement. Was there any bonus actions?
I have no bonus actions at the moment,
Sure.
so
Okay. The slot that had is jumped up begins to land, sort of just lands and starts bounding towards you, Tucher, with another set of jump. I'm gonna make a check here to see how it does. You see as it jumps forward and manages to get up and next to you, Tucher. In this moment of time, you see that it's kind of precariously balancing up there with you. You have more of a firm foothold. You've been up here for a long time. You've done this work before, but as it lands here, very frog-like, it has arrived. Its claws raising up. It's going to make 3 attacks: one with
Oh
its
my
bite and
God.
2 with its claws. So first, we're going to do its bite. Tucher, what's your AC?
20.
20. With a 17 on the roll, it fails to hit you. You see as you dodge out of its way, suddenly both of its claws swing up, raking towards you. Tucher, you know that there is a theoretical danger here. You've never heard of a Warforged get an egg implanted in them, and however that might play out, but you also know these are deeply magical creatures. And as the claws, both of them swing up, you manage to just fully dive, dodging out of the way and doing like a spin in the air on the balcony, and just both claws miss you. I've rolled very badly for
Heck
this
yeah.
this moment. You then see just out of the corner of your eye, Tucher, as Lady Hellblade standing there, another slot standing, fighting against Lady Hellblade. You see as the wound starts to stitch itself up, Lady Hellblade, as it has recovered some of its hit points. And then you see as it swings the first bite you, misses you, and Lady Hellblade, what's your AC?
20.
20. With the first attack, you see as the claw rakes against your armor, bouncing off you. The second attack with a 22 to hit successfully hits you, dealing 7 points of damage. Make a
Ooh,
Constitution saving throw.
right? Okay, the second. Why is this one being silly now? All
See,
right.
this is why the
Constitution.
Galahad group does not usually send adventurers into the outer planes.
All right. Constitution saving throw is going to be a 21.
21. Awesome. Superb.
Outer planes.
Awesome. You do all this, and as with your 21, you feel as something is trying to take root deep inside you, Lady Hellblade, but you manage to steel yourself as we cut away. We have to protect the Githeri against the feral creature and their minions. They are the only one keeping this thing together. And you see as the what looks to be the Emerald Caster, she steps between you and the Githeri in this moment of time, raising a hand. You see as channeling energy. You watch as suddenly a bolt of lightning starts to swirl around as she takes aim at you, Hemlock, and a lightning bolt shoots out. Dexterity saving throw.
Counter spell.
Oh, okay.
That was
Awesome.
useful.
You cast a counter spell, and what level are you using to cast the counter spell?
Can I tell what level of spell she's casting?
She's casting a 3rd level spell.
Then I'm using a 3rd level slot.
All right. You watch as you shoot the counter spell, right? And you see as she watches, she goes, "Ugh," as the spell dissipates up into the miasma, the chaos, and she goes. She shouts over, "We have to be careful. They're minions, no spellcasting abilities." And you see his Hemlock.
Get them, boys.
Awesome.
The Griminions!
Nicholas, you're going first, then Hemlock, and then the remainder of the heroes.
Okay, Skelly boys are just gonna head in there and I did not arm them intentionally, right? I don't want them to do a lot of damage. They're just gonna attack the various heroes so that they feel like they're having a real fight,
Okay.
right?
Great.
However, when I create corpses, when I animate dead, they are more powerful than when other people animate them because I am a necromancer. And that's one of the things that happens.
Okay.
So, here we go. So, by my count, there are 5 Skelly boys.
Yep.
And each of them is going to get like 1 attack.
Superb. Okay.
So, how many adventurers are there?
There are, so as taking again stock of what's going on, it looks like that these adventurers have been living in the center of this place for a little while. You can see their bedroll set up. You can see a variety of, like a chest has been set up. You can see that the Githeri monk is sort of sitting in the middle of all that, meditating. You can see that one of the adventurers is sort of convulsing on the ground. Another one's sort of trying to patch them up. And then 2 adventurers are still standing. One looks to be like this very fightery type who hasn't yet, is like preparing to step forward. And the other is the Emerald Wizard.
Okay, the Skelly boys are going to go attack the standing adventurers.
Great,
Basically,
yeah.
to keep them busy while I figure out what's going on with the incapacitated one. So I'll just roll some attacks here.
Yeah.
So 23.
Okay. I would say basically roll, and anything above a 16 will successfully do something.
Okay. And the Skelly boys are just going to do 5 damage with each of their attacks.
Superb.
It's just
Great.
1 unarmed plus the 4 for being animated by me.
Yep.
So let's see, that's 1 successful attack, 1 crit, but they're not rolling dice, so it doesn't do extra damage. It's just still 5. And
Yep.
the 3rd one misses, 4th one hits, and then the 5th one misses. So that's 3 hits.
Superb. Okay. Great. I've doled that out a little bit as you're having your skellies attack.
Yeah.
And you can see as they're like, no, get out of my way. As they're starting to fight here as well. The feral beast has brought more minions, some spellcasters, a necromancer of some kind. Awesome. Niklaus, that was your skellies. What are you doing?
I'm going to see if I can figure out what's going on with the guy that's convulsing on the ground. You said
Awesome.
like something awoke within him.
You have this. You've read a lot of books. You have a hunch something has happened like that.
I am
Nerd.
professionally interested.
Okay. Okay, awesome. If you want to, you can make a medicine check. You'd have to get closer to it. Otherwise, you can kind of try to do like a speculative, like perception check at this moment in time.
Let's see. I think I can do a medicine and get closer. Let me just. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna move closer.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to, because of the space, you could actually run down and get right up next to them if you wanted to. By medicine, what I kind of mean is that you'd have to be pretty close to start kind of almost investigating them.
Yep.
In doing so, you are going to draw the attention of the adventurer. You can see that she's sort of leaning over and trying to be patching up this hero, and she is wearing this like almost entirely chrome looking armor. So by getting closer, you're going to draw her attention.
Okay. Well, in that case, since I want to do this unobtrusively, I'm going to cast greater invisibility on myself first.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm going to disappear.
Okay. Superb.
And that's my action. So
Yeah.
I'm not doing, unless I can do the kind of inspection as a bonus action.
I don't think you can at this moment in time.
Okay.
No, I
All
think
right.
you can
So
get
I
in
just turned
position, though.
invisible.
Yeah. As you go and you race, you can move down. You can get in position with your greater invisibility, right? You're moving along here. We go Hemlock. You see the heroes fighting. Yeah. What are you doing, Hemlock?
I'm sort of spitting, and then I'm yelling out, "Grim minions, spread our moist infection!" And I'm gonna unstop her at my belt, my decanter of endless water.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my shape water cantrip to just sort of like spray them with water, but I'm pretending that it's this like infectious liquid.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
all of it just sort of like I pull out as much of it as I can as I mold it into what becomes this like mist to sort of mist them with infectiousness as my action.
Awesome.
And I'm laughing and cackling and like, "Go minions!" Rah! And then as much as I can, every time I can, from my platypus bill, just like frothy and spittle, and looking as gross as possible. But I'm still concentrating.
Yeah.
So my bonus action, it's a bonus action to move the healing spirit, who kind of looks like me and is trying to mimic right now my
Yeah.
and kind of like charges at another one of them that looks injured.
Okay. Great. Yep.
To give them a d6 of.
Awesome.
So another 4 points of healing to someone else who looks injured, but it's as though they're like, "Spread it! Spread the moist infection!"
You see the emerald mage as she's standing there, sort of starting to fight off skeletons. You watch as your little gremlin, and you see if she gonna and she just starts to cover her mouth and her face, and then she goes, "We have to steal our resolve. I can feel my resolve strengthening me, even at this moment." As the 4 health gets healed into her, as she's not really putting together that you're necessarily doing the healing at this moment in time, and you can see as they're starting to resolve themselves. Awesome, Hemlock. That's great. You've drawn a lot of attention to yourself in this moment of time, as now the other heroes are going to go. You see, as first off, the kind of large knight-like figure, he takes a great sword swinging at your skeletons. What's your skelly's AC? Just checking quick.
Their AC is 13.
Okay, what's their HP?
They are a little tougher than normal skeletons because they're animated by me. They have 23 hit points.
23 hit points.
Yep.
Oh wow! All right, great.
That makes them good meat shields. Zombies are even better as meat shields.
You watch as the heroic,
Yeah,
the knight, he swings his blade around.
Oh, actually, their hit points are 24 because I went up to 11th level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swinging the blade around, you can see as he swings 3 times in a row, swinging, shatters one of your skeletons, then turns, breaks another, so he's now reduced you down to 3, but then on the third, manages to just fully biff it, the blade slicing into the stone in this moment of time. And then tries to start kind of like preparing himself. He's definitely locked eyes with you, Hemlock, and you can see he's trying to like get himself free of these skeletons in this moment of time to get over to you. You then see as the Chrome Knight, she who's been leaning over, you watch as she's sort of like, oh, come on, you have to recover, come on, and then turns and says, protect yourselves all from the poison. And you watch as she casts a spell, and you, Nikolaus, recognize that she's casting dispel magic on this as she's kind of touching a pool of it for a moment to sort of see if whether or not the spittle can be dispelled. In the casting of the spell dispel magic, you just see as she goes, okay, I think I've purified it to regular water. If you do the rest, we can try and probably clean all this up. Don't worry, the poison won't hurt you. Awesome.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know about that one.
Nikolaus, make a perception check
Yeah.
as we come to the end of our combined rounds here.
That would be a 10.
A 10.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
You watch as you see as the all orange leather clad figure as he's writhing, convulsing on the ground. You see it suddenly fully goes stop, like fully inert and stops moving for a second. Nikolaus, with your perception check of 10, something happened that you missed. Something has occurred, right? That you've missed it at this point in time.
Good. Not good, people. Not
At
good.
the end of
He's
the
getting
round,
docked.
at the end of the round, you hear the monk go, quiet, I am trying to concentrate. And I'm going to make a concentration check for the monk.
When he says be quiet, I'm just like messaging into Nikolaus's mind. I'm just like, he said to be quiet out loud, but we could be quiet all up here, but loud about we miss apathy, share your feelings.
Is this really the time?
Can the rest of us hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As much as I hate to agree with Nikolaus, this is not the time for this.
Yeah, he thinks that they're just platonic friends. He's realized that a long time ago. He doesn't need to think about any romantic feelings or appreciative feelings. Now let's
Look,
just
we
continue
work-
with the fight.
We work together very well.
Exactly. Clickers.
Really, because she seems to want to kill you.
Professionally, socially,
I concur.
in other ways.
Bedroom ways.
Platonic bedroom ways.
Awesome. As you're saying these lines, Tutor, it's your turn. You guys can keep dialoguing about this as you like, and we can take turns mid-dialogue as necessary here. But Tutor, it is your turn. You see as the slot has now gotten up next to you. Hellblade is next.
Yeah. So how far away are the heroes from me? Like, how far away is the
Oh,
closest
sure.
hero?
I mean, right now you would have to basically race across the rooftops, go down some stairs, and then get to them. You think that you're probably like 120 feet away. Now, if there was a way for you to like go through the walls or something like that, you probably could get there like almost instantaneously.
But they're all inside.
Yes.
Okay. There's not like a window where I could like look into the room that they're in.
Unfortunately, no. There's basically entirely stone walls.
Okay. Well, first things first, I want to try to take care of this slot that's right in front of me. I'm going to try to just punch it in the face with my mace. Let's see how that goes. Does an 18 hit?
18 successfully hits, yeah. AC 14.
Okay, great. It only does 3 damage, but I'm also going to have my swarm try to pick it up and push it back and up into the air and just drop it onto the ground.
Okay, I love it. All right. So wait, how much damage did you say again?
3 damage.
3 damage. Your swarm?
Yeah, so I'm a swarm keeper,
Okay,
ranger.
okay,
So
I
that's why
just
I've got all
didn't-
these ethereal bugs that I'm always talking about.
Perfect. I just needed to know for a moment. Superb. Okay, do I make a check against that, right? As your swarm starts to...
Yeah. DC 13.
13?
Strength saving throw.
I fail.
Oh, great. Well, he's moved up to 15 feet horizontally. Oh, yeah, horizontally just backwards over the air, and it all knocks him prone, and I'm going to drop him.
Awesome. You see as it starts to back up. You see as you're pushing it away, the slot is sort of reaching out, trying to grab at you. Your swarm pushing it back, and then suddenly your swarm dissipates, and the slot goes falls.
Through the mental link, Lady Hellblade, do you think you got this?
Yes, I think I have this.
Okay. Then bonus action dash, and he's going to just try to dash towards the direction of the heroes because he heard the call from gremlins. And there's not like a window or any like portal into the room because I just want to like huck the gremlin doll like into the room.
100% right. So as you're racing here, right, you're sprinting along and you can see that it's basically entirely solid dirt. But as you're even walking and sort of your feet smashing against it, you look around and you can see that this is entirely plane of chaos. Anything can be anything.
Yeah, what if I mind it
Why
into
not,
it?
right?
Yeah.
Make your power of will here.
Heck yeah. So intelligence roll 13.
13. All right. You managed to channel just enough power of will. And I actually competed against you because the Githeri is actually maintaining this space. And the Githeri got a 4 on the die. And so as you manage to puncture a hole, the Githeri is maintaining a huge amount of space here. You manage to puncture a hole and you open a pocket large enough that if you wanted to, you could jump through or you could throw stuff through. It's about 5 feet wide.
I just want to throw the gremlin doll through to help add to the sense that gremlins are attacking. The gremlin minions are attacking the heroes, and I want to pick a hero who is like non-essential, the closest non-essential hero. So like not the monk that's focusing.
100%. I'm gonna just describe 3 things to you because you're taking in this information instantaneously, and I'm gonna just make you choose one. Do you choose chrome, green, or silver? No,
Green.
not silver. Sorry, gray.
Oh, of course, green.
Okay, you just throw and awesome. We're gonna come back to that scene in a moment as you throw this, and then you continue racing along, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be basically my second attack. My
Great.
second.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that at second attack then. Hellblade. You are standing there. The slot has sort of like pulling itself from the web. It's attacking you. What are you doing, Hellblade?
It dawns on me I should have done something. I had a reaction that I didn't use, so I'm not going to do that. Like, so I can't. I'm holding that in the back of my head for next time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack, but this time not with my sword. So the hand comes off, and then I'm going to grab it by the face, by its
Okay.
big old froggy face.
Awesome. You reach forward, and as you do so, you see as again the spectral blue of a hand reaches forward and grabs with you for a second.
14.
14 to hit. AC's 14. I'll give it to you.
As I grab it by the face, Lady Hellblade will say,
You failed. Now let me try.
and inflict wounds.
Ooh. Okay. How much?
42 damage. Necrotic to the face.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Let me just
So proud. I'm so proud.
Let me just look around to see if there's like anything I can do about this. All right, cool. Red. You grab this thing, and as you do so, you cast your inflict wounds. What does it look like? Like, what happens with your form of inflict wounds?
So I'm just imagining kind of like this kind of like sickly, kind of bluish, blue-black kind of like radiance that like spills out of her palm, just decaying flesh and like just really, really like rotting everything away underneath it.
Nice. You watch as the creature just sort of is starting to try to bite, and as you see this decaying aura pour from your hand in this moment in time, you watch as you see its flesh just starting to try to like reknit itself, then burn away. And as it does so, it's starting to weaken and wither. And you see the spectral blue hand has now overlapped yours in this moment. And you then see as the spirit or specter that stands beside you looks equally as intense and excited to be attacking in this moment of time with you, casting the spell with you. and then turns to look at you. And before, there was almost like a playfulness that you read in this figure's eyes. There is a very lucid awareness of you in this moment of time as you see your inflict wound sort of almost encroaching on the specter. And the specter turns and goes, "We have stories to tell one another. Tell me yours, and I shall give you a boon."
Very well, spirit.
And at that point in time, you see it fades away again. You can see in the direction that it's fading that it keeps going up towards the pillar in the airship that Rue was driving earlier. That Hemlock was driving
Okay.
earlier. As you watch the creature hits the ground, and you see, looking off in the distance as you have a moment just to collect yourself, that the keep doors are partially broken behind you, but as you look, about 10 or so pairs of hands pull themselves over the ledge of the keep wall, the castle walls, as you see more slod slowly starting to crest the walls.
All right. Yeah, I think once the thing drops, she'll basically kind of retreat toward the gates.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not very far, but you start to back up to them. We'll get back to your turn because you realize you're going to have to still open them if you need to.
Yeah.
Superb. So we finish up at that. The slot is dead. The other slot has fallen at this moment in time, so we're going to deal with that. We go to the other scene. We see as first off, you watch as the Emerald Wizard, the Emerald Mage, she is turning and she's like, "Quick, protect yourselves!" There's skeletons attacking her, right? She goes, "Oh, there's poisonous things. Great, call up and dispel magic to clear up this poison." And suddenly, what does it look like, Future?
If you see like a tumbleweed, it's like a dense, tiny tumbleweed with just like bits of like grass and sticks sticking out of it, and it's got like two little black stone eyes.
Awesome, perfect. You watch as she puts her hands together. Two bolts of lightning emerge between them. Nikolaus, you recognize this as chain lightning as she's taking aiming it up towards you, Hemlock, in this moment of time, and goes, "By you vile villain, I shouted," and just the little like minion just fully gets up on there, and you see, "There's another gremlin. We gotta fight him off."
I was ready, but it doesn't have to happen.
Awesome.
Okay.
You watch as she gets hit by this for a second, gets fully distracted, and you see as she then just snaps her fingers and she misty steps in a direction.
Yeah, I sort of imagine it had like the consistency of like a
No, it's okay.
dodgeball or something.
Yeah, yeah. 100%. Oh, and your gremlin has arrived. As she misty steps, she now appears. It's very close to the lady in Chrome, as they're standing beside each other over the body. Nikolaus, it is your turn.
I was seriously considering counterspelling her Missy step, but
That'd be
you
brutal.
know what? It's fine.
That is
Right.
that in the business is what we call a dick move.
Yeah, you're supposed to
Yes.
let them win. And look
Counterspelling
cool.
someone's revivify. Now that is a dick move.
Yeah, that'd be mean.
So,
That'd be so
yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to inspect this beleaguered adventurer to see what's going on.
All right, make your medicine check.
Okay. I don't have a really high result. This is why I turned to necromancy. I did get a dirty 20 though. So
Dirty
Nice.
20. Hey, that's solid.
you see, Nikolaus was once a military medic, but I wasn't very good at it. I was strong, like I could have been a good fighter, but I never really learned how to fight. So I became a medic, and I wasn't super good at medicine either. So I turned to necromancy because it made things better.
Do you
At
want
first,
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go for it.
that's it. Go ahead.
Do you want to touch the body or not?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nikolaus, as you step forward in your invisibility, you're making your medicine check. You actually spot that as you like with every step, almost with every heartbeat, that like raking set of claw marks across the body vanishes as you draw close. A second later, you reach down to touch the body, Nikolaus. And as you do so, you feel the body, and your hands go through what appears to be some sort of illusion. As your hands go through the illusion, you watch as you manage to touch the body, start investigating it. It is cold. You've dealt with death all your life. You know that this hero has died at this point in time. That's your first bit of information here, Nikolaus.
Okay.
Do you want to? I can let you save the rest of your turn unless you have some things you want to do, because I don't want to remove your entire action at this moment in time.
Okay, so the hero's dead.
Yep.
And covered over by an illusion.
Yep, that looks exactly like the hero.
Okay. Is there something else going on? Is there some sort of undead essence or spirit screwing with the body? Can I tell?
I love that you're asking more about this information, right? So there is no undead essence messing with the body, but if you would you like to feel further?
Oh yeah.
Your
This
hands-
is Nikolaus's thing.
Yeah, I hear you. No, listen,
I'm
just
here
checking.
for
It's
it.
all you.
Let's go.
You watch as you move your hands further, and you can see as your hands sort of start to dip into what is a massive hole where the chest was. But your hands are moving through the illusion, so the illusion is hiding that reality.
I see. Okay. Is that it for my action, or can I do something else?
I'll give you one more, whatever you would like to do.
Cool. Animate dead.
Perfect. Great. Cool. Great. All right. We're gonna come back to you, Nikolaus, right? Hemlock.
Oh, I assume my Skelly boys are still fighting.
Yeah, you make your attacks with the Skelly boys.
right.
The three skellies.
I'll count it up.
Yeah, you
Tell
count
me
it
what
up.
it would be.
Hemlock, what are you doing?
I'm going to yell out again to them. You'll never be able to defeat us. We'll take the whole tower down.
Okay.
And then I will cast. I'm going to use. So I'm going to drop the healing spirit, hoping that they're doing okay for now. So that kind of fizzles out with a last spittily, foamy Bill scream. And then I will. So I'm looking for a spot that doesn't hit the monk in the middle of the room.
Word. Yeah.
But I know that Nicholas is invisible, and I don't care because I'm confident that he doesn't really breathe anyways.
I don't.
And I cast Stinking Cloud.
Yes.
Rad.
And so it's a 20-foot radius sphere of this yellow nauseating gas.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hit the monk, but I want to hit as many of them as possible. So if you can place it where it hits as many of them.
You can hit the Chrome Knight and the Emerald Wizard. Yeah,
the Skelly boys. The Skelly boys don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just be like, breather, moist, noxious gas.
Right.
And as I scream that out, so the way it works though is that at the start of their turn they make Constitution saving throws, and then if they fail, they just start retching. They don't really take damage. They just vomit.
I love it. I love this so much. You watch as you cast the spell. Hemlock, that was your action. Do you want to move at all or do anything like that?
I want to jump down so that I'm sort of like as much as I can be. I'm immune to it, so I can be central-ish kind of in the space.
Yeah.
I want to be within, what's my movement speed? 25 feet. Oh, I got little stumpy legs.
Okay.
I want to be within 25 feet of where that dead body is.
Okay, you are moving within 25 feet of the dead body. Superb. You manage to cast this cloud. You see as it goes, it like just like a it just pours out, right? As it washes across all of them. Hemlock, as your turn comes to an end, you move in you move to get in position. You see that the fighter who has been trying to like kind of get to you, there's two skeletons now. I've kind of reallocated the skeletons a bit, so there are two left on him. And you watch as he swings and goes, "No, we have to stop you, feral beast!" With a critical, slays one of the skeletons instantly. Second attack successfully hits the skeleton. And you see that it, with a second attack, successfully kills the skeleton with an extremely high damage roll. Then the knight figure turns, looking at you, Hemlock. So you're down to one skeleton right now on the Emerald Wizard, Nikolaus. You see
One skelly boy.
running forward, moves forward, taking a swing with the final swing, swings down to try to hit you. Here, Hemlock, it's your right. Hemlock, what's your AC?
14.
14. All right. With this 5 on the die, you see as the figure swinging down, fully misses you. And then you see as he goes, "Damn it. But my resolve will not stop me." Looks up. Action surges. It says, "I am the cloaked marauder." Cape billowing in the back. "I am a famous hero." And then takes 3 more swings at you, Hemlock, in this moment of time. All 3 miss.
Oh my god!
Yes.
How devastating. Hemlock, I don't need to tell this story. What happens?
It's like the Matrix, but so smelly. And so he makes all 3 of these attacks, but it just like all the little like it's like platypus fur just gets like just barely cleaved as little bits of moist water flick off of her. And also she's just trying to like but she has to sell the moment, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not
for
that
sure.
he misses. It's that this villain is just too crafty and small and agile. And so she sells every moment of it as just like, "Ah, you almost had me."
I'm gonna need you to make a deception check in this moment. What you're seeing, Hemlock, I'm gonna like describe the stakes beforehand, right? This guy just gave like a hero monologue and then biffed it hard.
He action surged for
really,
this.
really biffed it, and you're seeing like confidence fading.
This is classic D&D, right? Classic.
Quickly. So Hemlock, you see an opportunity here to swing this one way or the other, and you're trying to sell it positively. So I need your deception check. This is like a morale check.
Oh no. Okay, so it's a 6 on the die.
Yeah.
So they're realizing probably that it's not going that great. And so in a desperate move as the final thing, as you know, because at one point she probably laughs a little bit, you know, because like the third one misses. It's like and then just tries to be like, "Ha, you almost had me there, that one. But you miss again, you foolish hero." But then looks down and it's like, "Oh no, but it did hit." And she unbuckles the contraption that she carries with all of her vials of acid and poison, and she's like, "But you, oh no, you have taken off my bandolier!" And she just unbuckles it and lets the bandolier drop, as though like that final hit actually cleaved not her, but the leather strap that was carrying it. She's like, "My powers!"
Oh, I love it. The bandolier goes flying as you say this with a 6. You see as the bandolier flies, and only because you accepted that as it, I was not immediately going to surrender to you. So, your bandolier goes flying. You see as the guy, like in a moment of like, "I really fucked this up," right? It's just like, wait, I have a chance. And it's sort of like pulled himself back together for a moment, managed to steel himself. You're right. I have wounded you in some way. I've disarmed you. This was part of the plan the whole time. And then
This is like a reverse villain saying, "Ha ha, you missed me," and the hero says, "Did I?"
turning, you see as the knight, he turns, the cloaked marauder turns and goes, turns saying, Emerald Candle, Lady of Steel, we can do, and turns, and both of them failed their save and are just retching and vomiting on the floor. They're just like throwing up all over the place. The stinking cloud has fully gotten them in this moment in time. Oh, it spends its action retching and reeling. Oh, so you see, as the Lady of Steel, she's the Chrome Knight, and she just like, well, cool, whatever, man. Like, I don't care. And she uses her movement to get out of the stinking cloud in this moment in time.
Just the bent over retching thumbs up.
Oh,
Yeah.
you, Hemlock, that was so rad. You hear is there's a chunk of things that now happen all at once, and I'm going to come back to Nikolaus as we come into the scene. So Nikolaus, you cast Animate Dead, right? Does your Animated Dead get up like immediately?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Superb.
And the illusion's still on it, right?
Nikolaus, you watch as a couple of things happen all at once, and we're all bearing witness, except for Lady Hellblade, who we're going to get to here in just a minute. And you, Tucher, you're kind of arriving on scene, so you can assume that you're going to have some of this information at this moment in time, right? As you describe to me how the orange leather-clad hero stands up.
Shakily, as though barely in control of his limbs,
Yeah.
with a moan.
Okay, I love it. I love it. As you, oh man, as you, the moan gets up. The stinking cloud is still billowing around the orange leather-clad figure, and Lady of Steel, who's just escaped, and Emerald Candle, right? As you see the figure stand up, you hear, "That is not me." And you suddenly see kind of emerging out of, like, you've fully missed it in this moment of time. Nikolaus, you see that the illusion on your figure has vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly there's a gaping hole in your animated body's chest as you see a gleaming, like fully orange leather-clad figure standing off on the corner going, "That is an imposter by the villains who have turned against us. The swift lightning have arrived to save my friends." And you can see all three of them go, "Oh, thank God, you're here." And swift lightning standing there. Ha! And you see, like, snaps a finger, presses his station fully. The wind blows his hair, flowy hair, right, to make it look really good.
But he's arrived to see his friends like throwing up and
Yeah, it's not
vomiting.
good. It's not a good
It's
thing.
He was waiting for his moment, and he decided this was it, which is a choice.
Okay, awesome. Nikolaus, make an Arcana check. DC 20.
All right, well, we'll see.
Ooh.
See, the funny thing is that Nicholas is not actually trained in Arcana. I'm a
Oh.
practical necromancer. I'm not a student.
Oh,
Yeah, I
perfect.
got an
Then
8.
Okay.
I didn't make it.
I won't give you any more information. This is all about you all determining what's
Okay.
going to happen. Right.
Okay. Cool.
Some things have happened where I'm not obligated to give you information anymore. So sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Awesome. The swift lightning has arrived, and you see a swift lightning then goes, "Fear not, my comrades, I shall deal with them," and reaches forward a hand and begins to conjure a spell. And you see as the spell seems to like coalesce a fireball aimed at both at you in particular, Hemlock. And Nikolaus, you watch as the hand sort of pointing, that it turns just enough, and you are very aware that that Swift Lightning knows where you are.
Cool. Counterspell.
Awesome. This is a 7th level spell, and you will need to roll.
Sheesh. All right.
What? This
Well,
guy's
let's
no
see how that
amateur.
goes. No, he is not. All right. Well,
What
Okay,
BS is
7th
this?
level spell, counter spell. I think the DC is. I always struggle with this. Does anyone know it off the
the
top of their
DC
head?
equals 10 plus the spell's level.
So 17. You need to get a 17. What's your check? And before you roll, so that we can make it dramatic.
It is. Make an ability check using your spell casting ability. So it is a +5.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so here we go. 21.
21. That sucks so much. You watch as you. What does it look like when you're counterspelling?
So I just like I send out these rays of black energy that just unravel the spell as it's being cast.
Okay. You watch as the rays of black energy swirl around. You see as for but a moment, you're not a trained spellcaster. You don't know how to necessarily read spells immediately. However, what you see is instead of like a bead of a fireball, you see what looks to be like a kaleidoscope forming in this moment in time.
Oh boy.
Of rainbow colors, and then suddenly you snap it and it shatters, and suddenly pulls up into the miasma, and you see as swift lightning goes, well, I see I've met my match. Careful, friends, there's an invisible enemy over there, and points directly at you in this moment of time.
No.
Okay.
You hear the Githeri go, quiet, I'm still concentrating. And you see Swift Lightning go, I need your assistance, Githeri. I've been assisting you this whole time. Cast haste on me. And Githeri goes, fine. Cast haste on Swift Lightning. And then we'll make their concentration check. Natural 20. The Githeri is crushing it.
Woo!
Everything is stable here. Awesome. Swift Lightning has suddenly starts to blur and start moving extremely quickly in this moment. And as we come to the end of the round, Lady Hellblade, we are going to conclude our scenes for this evening with Lady Hellblade standing outside of the room. Lady Hellblade, as you are starting to pull on the door, you see from behind you, like slod starting to pull themselves up over the wall, right? You're standing at the door here. Suddenly appearing beside you is again the spectral figure. Meet me at the top of the tower and tell me a story. Tell me about you, and a boon is yours. I am the petitioner, and I petition you. Pull us away again. And then Lady Hellblade, as you stand there, you then hear a second set of voices croaking and droning in your mind as a telepathic connection has been linked to you. And all of you through your conference room telepath can all hear this as the Slod all chant, we will save. We will save Temrek. Timrek is ours. Timrek is below. Lady Hellblade, what's your one action you do in this moment in time?
Well, you recall that portable hole we've been talking about? I'm going to empty it in the direction of the slot.
Oh, okay. Lady Hellblade, you were just given a portable hole and you were told to empty it. And as you open it, you twist it over and you see a couple like skeletons fall out of the bag. They just like roll out of the bag. Then you see is like a blade falls out of the blade, and you see that the blade looks to be like magically arcane in this moment of time. As it falls out, it's covered in runes. And then you see is the last thing then you see is like a bunch of coins fall out of the bag, some like really old rotten food, and then a hand grabs the edge of the bag, and a second hand grabs the edge of the bag. Then you see is the longest head, followed by a neck that does not stop, starts to pull itself out, followed by a body. And as the body starts to pull itself out, a second head right in the chest of the body turns and goes, thank you. As it pulls itself out, and this towering creature has suddenly emerged out, turns, looks down at you, And Hemlock, or Hellblade, what do you say?
Be my guest. And I point at the slod.
Cool. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh boy. Luckily, persuasion's ooh, 26.
Nice.
You see as
Hell
the
yeah.
creature turns to you. I like your helmet. You look
Thank-
really cool.
Thank you.
My liege, I am at your service. Turns and just starts bounding towards the slot. And that is where we'll end our session this evening. Awesome. That's so much fun. Thank you all so much for coming and playing. Thank you all for hanging out and watching us this evening as we're playing episode 3 of Villains Wanted. Stay tuned as we conclude whatever's happening in Limbo as our party continues to make their way through Slod and hopefully find secrets and uncover many things going on. I'm going to pass things over. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jake. I have been Eric Scott DeBee, playing Nikolaus the Necrombo. I told Lady Hellblade to empty her hole, but I did not warn her or Allie about what was inside. So I'm
A
glad it
friend,
worked
apparently.
out.
Still
Yeah.
friends.
Tune in next week for the exciting conclusion to this particular adventure. The campaign itself is going to go for at 1 to 3 more sessions. I think we talked about 4 to 6, so we'll see. I'm hoping for 6 because this is really fun, but we're going to find out. So tune in next week to see the thrilling continuation. You can find my work online. Look up under my name, Eric Scott B. Join our Discord because we talk about all the streams that we do. We talk about other D&D related things. We talk about all kinds of just geeky stuff. There's a thriving Baldur's Gate 3 thread as well. Yeah, hope to see you over there. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I have been your raspy serpentious for this evening, apparently. And wow, that was fun. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. You can find my work on patreon.com/Alexander Pitchford, and with work in 3 different anthologies from Outland Entertainment, as well as an upcoming 4th and a different thing that I can't talk about yet. So
Keep an eye out.
yeah. Okay. Yang Yang?
So, Yang
Yo,
Yang.
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Yang Yang Wang. I forgot to give my disclaimer at the top of the show, so better late than never. I work for Wizards of the Coast, so all thoughts and opinions are my own and does not reflect upon the company. But yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next week as well. Roz.
Thank you. And thank you, Dungeon Scrawlers. And thank you, Jake, for having me here. It's been super awesome to come on and guest in Villains Wanted. I am over from Questkeep, and you can find us on Twitch and YouTube. And we make, right now, lots of D&D content, but you can check out our channel for other stuff. We're up here in Canada, so hello. Hello. And I have been having such a good time. Thank you so much. I have been Hemlock, your platypus druid. Jake.
And last but not least, again, thank you all so much for coming and joining. I'm planning, and I think we'll continue to update you. It would be so fun to run a number of sessions, but I think we're going for 6, and so we're about halfway through, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you all as guests come and watch and to play with you all as players. What a joy this has been. Amanda, we miss you. We cannot wait for you to return. And yet again, similar to what happened to you, Lady Hellblade, I'm going to have to update her about some crazy stuff going on because every time it just seems like you all make incredible decisions. And so next time, follow us and see what happens as we resolve Limbo.
Also, one last piece of good news. I can officially confirm, based on a quick little group chat conversation, we are indeed going to go to 6 episodes. So, Jake, you got your wish, buddy.
Stick in there. Oh,
And
that's going to be so much fun.
we got our wish as well, because this is really great. So, hopefully we're not all going to die next week after we made this whole announcement. But anyway,
yeah,
thank you so much. Until then, tip your villains because they work hard.
Bye.
Thank you.